Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be Josh's ultimate werewolf game today, and he designed some super werewolves and a cool little role called the orphan. The way he explains it is pretty cool, and I hope everybody enjoys it. I also want to remind everybody down in the description I've linked the Facebook group that we play at if you want to get in on these games. We have games going all the time. Other than that, thanks for watching. Until next time, peace.
Welcome to Village Dilemma. This is based off my idea of having a prisoner's dilemma between two werewolves, and the village has to figure out what scenario they're in depending on what the werewolves choose night zero. Let me post the document back in the chat just for those that went ahead and joined. So this is a normal 3 votes per day, and a simple, vote up, vote down on each person, and a simple majority would cause death. There's normally a 10-minute timer each day. That could change. And I will tell people when someone dies what team they're on. In this case, people will not need numbers by their name because we didn't get enough people for the Insomniac. So there'll be X amount of villagers you won't know. There'll be although you could probably figure that out. We'll see. There's a seer. The special thing about the seer is that I'm going to allow them to get 2 checks on night 0, just as a little jump start. But most of their information is going to be faulty anyways, so you can decide how much you want to put faith in the seer. There will be a bodyguard. They'll wake up, they'll check or protect someone. There will be a baby dragon. Because I love Joseph's baby dragon so much. Baby dragon has 2 lives. They cannot claim to be the baby dragon. They can only claim to be a villager until after they lose their first life, and I will tell them when they have lost their first life in chat. So there will be a village child. They will just be told that they are a villager, and depending on what the werewolves choose, they will quickly grow up and become something else. 3 out of the 4 scenarios, they will not be told that they have become something else. So there's 1 that they'll become a disease, and 2 that they will have an extra life. So the next thing is that there are exactly 2 werewolves in this village that would normally have 4 werewolves. So again, the werewolves are going to make an important choice on night 0. After, I'm going to give them a few, couple of seconds to wake up, see who each other are, and they have to write down either werewolf or super wolf. And if they both choose werewolf, this is where, if red equals werewolf and blue werewolf, I've named them red and blue just for my record keeping, then they will both get a clever disguise. This is the clever disguises in the game. A clever disguise imparts the Wolfman ability, which means that if checked by the seer will be told, no, they are not a werewolf. As well, under this scenario, they each will create 2 lichens. And so I'll tell them, go ahead, and if you're able to write down 2 names, those people will become lichens. If there's an overlap with the names that they write, then that person only becomes 1 lichen instead of canceling each out. So there could be anywhere from 2 to 4 lichens. The village child in this case grows up to be diseased. And this scenario, also the time limit for each day is going to be reduced by 2 minutes. So the first day is 10 minutes, second day is 8 minutes, then 6 minutes, etc. To kind of balance this, I hope, at nighttime, the wolves have exactly 10 seconds to kill, or to agree on a person to kill. Otherwise, there's no kill. So they've got to be on top of things if they choose this in this scenario.
I just have to say, for the spirit of the game, nobody should take the time, because otherwise we can figure out which werewolf is in the game.
Oh yeah, I have also decided to do a plus or minus up to like 1 to 60 seconds on either way of the 10 minutes. So it will create a little bit of confusion on the like first, maybe second day. By the third day, I think you'll realize what scenario you're in.
I'm trying to help the village, Daniel. Come on.
Wait, on the sheet,
I'm joking. You were not in the mood when I went into the call. I have to make you in the mood now. Come on.
on the sheet,
Cheer up, Joseph.
it says that if they're both super wolves, the child becomes a minion, but I think you said it becomes diseased.
So if they both choose werewolf, then the child becomes a diseased.
Mm-hmm.
In the case that one chooses super wolf and the other chooses a werewolf, the one that chose the werewolf becomes a lone wolf. They can only win if the other wolf is dead and they reach parity with the village. So it's going to be a lot harder for them. The super wolf kind of gets the same thing as if they had just chosen werewolf. A clever disguise, they can create 2 lichens, and they have a tough wolf ability, so they have a second life. And in this case, the village child grows up to be a lost prince. A lost prince was my take on a prince that can survive the first lynching, but they're lost. They don't know that they're the lost prince, so they don't know that they survived the first lynching. So it should be very fun to see them confused when they don't die the first time. But now, if they're targeted by the werewolves just kill them. Then we can come to what happens when there's 2 super wolves. In this case, the people who will become lichens are all village roles that wake up during the night. So the seer, the bodyguard. I'll tell you which role gets added. I think so. It'll be the orphan as well, and I'll go over those rules in a second. The village child grows up to be a minion if under both super wolves. So each night I'll wake up the minion, and they will try to find the werewolves. And the first time that they wake up, they'll have 2 guesses, so that way they can catch up, because they won't know until day 1. If they are able to identify both super wolves, and I'll keep track when they do that, they turn into a werewolf, and they can wake up with the werewolves, and they become that 3rd werewolf. So, while they're a minion, before they turn into that werewolf, they do not count towards parity for the werewolf team. They look like a villager to the seer, and they're announced as a villager if they die. They win only if the werewolf team wins, and maybe the super wolves will decide this is the route they want to go for an easier victory with a 3rd teammate.
Are they going to know who the child is if they're super wolves?
Nope.
No?
I thought that might be a little bit too much.
Okay.
Also, this was Night of the Full Moon rules. The very first time a village role that would wake up at night, so the seer, bodyguard, the things that would be a lichen in this scenario, they die. The next night, the werewolves will get 2 kills. So it's not like an overpowered cub or anything like that. And so we'll see how that goes.
Wait, what? You confused me there. Who dies?
So when the first village role that wakes up at night, so that's the seer, the bodyguard, or the orphan in this case.
Okay.
When the first one of those die, the next night I will tell the werewolves they get 2 kills.
Ooh, okay. So they will know one of the roles is out of the game in a way.
Yes. As well, and this is kind of the big confusing thing. On the back of this placard right here, I have already written down a random number of nominations for the first 4 days. This is going to be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's not going to be 2, 2, 2, 2, or anything like that. So just the numbers 1 through 4. That means on day 1 there'll be like perhaps 3 or 4 or not 5, but 1. A random number of nominations. The village won't know this. Just another incentive for the werewolves to pick super wolves, because why not? I know that's a lot, and there's a lot of new stuff going on. So, what questions do people have?
Is there a copy of the rules somewhere? I'm lost.
It's in the chat, I think.
Yeah.
So, Josh,
Thank you.
Josh, in this setup, it sounds like even you agree that there's no reason to not be a super wolf, right?
No, I didn't say that.
It
But
looks
you
a bit
really
like
boosted
that.
them up. Last time we played, there was not a reason to not be a normal werewolf. Now it feels like it's more of a...
I want to leave this up to the people who are the rules.
Yeah.
Because
Right.
I put these together with the idea that would I be happy with either both being werewolf or both being a super wolf?
Yeah, I just think the lone wolf is so it's so bad for the team, for the werewolf team, if they get a lone wolf. So,
Well,
all right, I'll be right back.
Be interesting then.
yes. And so, any other questions? If not, I will start rolling for rolls and all that.
But you said something about orphan.
Oh, yes. Let me just make sure because Strawberry's jumping in as well. No, okay. So yeah, we will add the orphan as well. The orphan will choose to wake up at night, and they will choose someone to hide behind. If they choose a werewolf, then they automatically die. If they are targeted after they've chosen someone, they will not die. But if the person that they're hiding with dies, they will also die. Does that make sense? Did everyone get a roll? Thumbs up if you got a roll. Okay, that looks like everyone. So why don't we go ahead and get started? I'll let everyone do a stretch. And everybody, go to sleep.
You know about Alt M?
Yep.
Cool.
Okay. Well, welcome to the Werewolf Dilemma Village. Why don't we have the orphan wake up just to say hi? Hi. Why don't you go back to sleep? And why don't we have the bodyguard wake up just to say hi? Hi, how are you? You doing good? Cool. Okay, well, this would be normally where I'd wake up the minion, but there's no minion yet. Let's see if there will be. Werewolves, wake up. I mean, you know that there should be two of you. Hi. So you all should be thinking, what's the other one going to do? And then you're going to go ahead, write down, and then I'll count you down, and then you'll reveal either werewolf or super wolf. So thumbs up when you're ready to have that done. Thumbs up. Okay, hold on. Okay, reveal in 3, 2, 1. Very interesting decision. Okay, so in that case, if you chose the option where you would get be able to get lichens, go ahead and write down 2 names. If you chose a decision that would have allowed me to change up the number of nominations each day, I would tell you this. Do you all have names written down? Okay. Well, go ahead and reveal them to me in 3, 2, 1. Okay. Yeah, let me write those down real quick. Okay, you all can go on to sleep. Seer, give me just 1 second just to kind of update all my notes real quick. Okay, Seer, go ahead and wake up, please. You get to choose 2 names to check out. Okay. So the first name that you wrote down is that. The second name you wrote down. Okay. Well, if you're happy with that information, you can go to sleep. Okay, everyone else, well, everyone can wake up, unmute yourselves, and start the game.
So do you want me to tell everybody's roles, who did what during the night?
No, that's
No, everything.
it's more fun
Okay.
if we try to find out.
Okay, sure.
Daniel's the Super
Just shut
Wolf,
up.
and I really hate that he chose Super Wolf and I chose Werewolf, so we got to kill him first.
Okay,
Sure.
just shut up, Daniel, and I'll play the game.
Don't you want to know what happened though? Okay.
Okay,
You
so
wanna make it a mystery.
okay, so ignoring Daniel, the rest of you,
I think it was 2 werewolves.
Proper thing you should do, Joseph.
I'm not gonna listen to Daniel for the whole game. So Ned,
Yeah, how many werewolves do we think we have?
I think they're 2.
2? You think 2?
Nah,
I agree.
Okay, guys.
this size, at least 12.
okay, jokes aside, we
Oh,
do have two.
Lycans.
We have 2 super werewolves, right?
I thinking 2 werewolves.
2 normal werewolves.
Hmm.
I think they chose super. I think it's so much better for them to be.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Unless Josh is very convincing with his acting and
They get a minion
I think it's
and all
fairly
that.
balanced. I don't know.
But they get a minion. I mean, and that minion can turn into new werewolves. So
oh, I agree. I agree. I agree.
mean, it
It's an
depends.
option. Doesn't mean it was one that was chosen.
Yeah, it depends who became the werewolf. I can see that someone like Alex or Daniel find it funny if they do something.
yeah, they
What
find
we
it funny
don't
to be the
expect.
lone wolf. That's what I think. If
But I
Connor was
think
in-
for most of the people else, I don't see much reason not to pick Super Wolf for
Oh.
both of them.
it's much safer. Like
I probably would have
Yeah.
picked Werewolf just to mess with the game.
they both
I'm
pick
a
werewolf.
normal
It's pretty
wolf,
good.
and Alex is a lone wolf. So there you go.
Okay, ignoring Daniel. So if they both pick werewolf, then that's pretty good, right? But they can't know what the other one will pick, so it's so risky for them. Like if they get lone wolf, they almost lost because
Yeah.
how is they supposed to win with one lone wolf? That's really tough. So
I mean, I feel like Joseph said before we even started the game, before rolls were out, that Super Wolf was the obvious choice.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Other than somebody really wanting to have the game end quickly with a lone wolf, I can't imagine anybody choosing anything else.
I'm sure that
Yeah.
there was 2 Super Wolves because of the threat of the minion. That's why
Wait,
I think it's.
did
2
someone
Super
say
Wolves.
something?
I don't know.
No.
I
I heard
just
something.
wanted to
Go ahead.
sleep.
The important thing about that, looking at the rules and stuff, we shouldn't get the idea that we should nominate someone just to make them speak and things like that, because it might be the only nomination we have.
Yeah, we don't know how many. I'm sorry, Daniel. I'm just messing with you, but
Yeah, 3 nominations though.
No, if they
necessarily.
both chose Super
That
Bowl,
was a great
then
joke.
it's
That was a
any
great
number
joke.
between 1 and 4.
Oh, okay.
We will find out eventually, but
So basically, every nomination should be a real thought
Yes.
process accusation because it could be the last one. So
yes.
Can the seer check themselves?
he said something. in the
John.
rules
On night
about
0,
that.
Yeah,
apparently.
night 0 they can.
On night 0 only.
why would they check themselves on night 0? That's before.
Because it
they-
tells
if they're
us automatically
Lycan.
if they're
They're
Super
Lycan.
Wolves.
Oh.
If they're it
So
increases the
Lycan-
chance.
I think I said that during the
That
rules
is-
explanation.
So
Yeah.
If someone
So
says
Lycan
no,
is
then
a
I
werewolf.
will.
Like, I know we need to kill Lycans, but also a Lycan isn't a werewolf. So even if a seer is a Lycan, they're still a seer.
No, it's
Right,
just
but-
to find out what the werewolves picked, because
Yeah.
if they both pick Super Wolf, then all the waking up
So-
rolls are Lycans.
We should
they
If I
can't-
know, if I'm the seer and I find I'm a werewolf or I'm a Lycan, then I also know that the bodyguard is a Lycan, that
Yeah.
the orphan is a Lycan. That would be useful
okay, yeah,
information.
that makes
So-
sense.
So
Unless
if the
yeah.
seer finds
yeah.
if the seer finds someone as werewolf, they gotta realize that could be the bodyguard.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
And I think
with the nominations, right?
Yeah.
We should be careful with the nominations. The thing that Josh said, it happens no matter what, right? Am I right, Josh?
Sorry.
The thing with the nominations in the first 4 nights, if 4 days, if I'm right, happens no matter what.
So if both werewolves chose Super Werewolf, then there would be a random number of nominations, 1 through
Every
3
day?
or 4. Well,
Every day.
so on day 1 there would be a number 1 through 4, and then day
Okay,
2 there's
4
be a
days.
yeah, And then it
4
repeats
days.
after the 4 days. So
Oh, okay.
and we
okay.
don't
Then
find
I
out-
nominate Andreas.
Stop. We don't find out that number though, right, Josh? It's just so. Let's say today there was only one nomination. We don't actually know that until we have the vote, and then you just say, "Oh, everyone go to sleep."
Yeah.
that is correct.
Bruce question.
Yep.
Can you explain the orphan again, please?
The orphan is going to wake up each night, and they're going to pick someone to hide with. And so if the werewolves target the orphan, they will not die. But if the orphan chooses a werewolf to hide with, they automatically die. And if the orphan chooses someone and so let's say you're the orphan and you choose Barbie. If Barbie is targeted by the werewolves, then both you and Barbie will die.
How does that interact with the baby dragon?
So in that case, the baby dragon would just lose one life.
And the orphan stays alive?
Yes.
Okay, so
if the person dies, then the orphan would also die.
So if
the orphan's not dead right now, does that mean that the orphan did not choose a werewolf?
I did not let the orphan hide.
They don't want to die night 0. That's boring.
Yeah, I didn't hate Daniel's nomination, other than the fact that half of the village hasn't spoken yet, so it seems a bit premature.
I want to hear from.
I was joking with that.
I want to know
what nomination? I didn't even hear it.
Yeah, right.
I didn't hear it either.
Daniel said something. Come on,
Alex. What were you saying?
I was just saying I want to hear what Barbie's thinking. If she has any thoughts.
Oh, sorry, I missed that. Yeah, I was just thinking that no matter which permutation of the game we are playing, if whether it's the both chose werewolf or both chose super wolf, in either case there will be misinformation for the seer. In the werewolf case, it will be that they will become wolfmen, and in the other one it will be that we get like false positives. So in either case, I think that should change a little bit maybe how the seer goes about things. But I feel like it would be maybe good to talk about that a little bit, like to say what the seer could or could not do, or when they should consider coming out. I think that's maybe something we should explore a bit, but I don't have any proposition for that yet. So I was just thinking about that.
I was kind of thinking that the werewolf kind of balanced out with the super wolf, just because the super wolf, they get to, like, the seer could check themselves and know automatically whether it's that scenario. But at the same time, then I thought, well, they could have just chosen the seer as the Lycan, so it really doesn't make any difference, and all the rest of the things of the super wolf scenario is just better for the werewolves. So I think I'm on Joseph's mind with that there's really no reason for them to have chosen anything other than super wolf, but you never know.
Well, you would know, Alex. So
do we get like a 1 minute, 1 minute alert, 5 minute alert? Okay, so we've got to like pick up the pace a little bit.
Oh, no alert at all. It's just boom, nighttime. Oh wow, that's mean.
Yep.
Victoria, what are you thinking?
Too early to.
I kind of forgot to play the game for the first little bit that people were talking, and then I was like, oh wait, I need to actually pay attention to what people are saying and if they're suspicious. So I don't have an answer.
I honestly was the same way.
It's because she's a super wolf and she doesn't need to pay attention.
I'll nominate Andreas.
We have a nomination for Andreas. Is there a second?
Sure, I'll second it.
And Alex seconds. So
we have things like me. Oh my god, that's
Andreas.
Wait, somebody speaking?
I don't know. I keep hearing this annoying squeak.
I do pause the timer when someone makes a nomination, and definitely do the defense. So, Andreas, do you want to give a defense?
Can I give an explanation first?
Yeah,
sure.
It'll give him an idea what he wants to defend. Yeah, basically, Andreas and I are often on the same page with logic, but he and Ned were the two that were sort of not necessarily agreeing with Joseph or saying that the two super wolves were obvious. I felt like the suggestion that maybe the werewolves chose werewolf would be something that a werewolf would try and do to sow confusion. It seemed to me like there was no question whatsoever, so it wasn't even worth entertaining as a topic. But
my answer to that is I did agree with Joseph. I'm just saying that in a very specific case that someone of the funnier people got the werewolf. They might have chosen something else, but everyone else would choose like Super Wolf, and that's the one we should go with. And everything else I said based on that was based on the assumption like don't waste nominations, things like that. Thinking about what the seer can do. Yeah, so I'm a villager, and you shouldn't kill me now. And then, if you don't kill me, at least we will find out how many nominations we have and whether it's more than one. And if you kill me, then you lose a villager.
Okay, so if Andreas is happy with that defense, then we're going to go to voting. Vote up to save Andreas's life. Vote down to kill Andreas, and we will vote in 3, 2, 1. Vote. So there are 1, 2 down, and the rest are up. So
I have a big suspicion now because I think Andreas is correct. I think we have 2 funny people in here, and I think it's really funny for Daniel being a werewolf, saying before he got his role he's gonna say all the roles, then saying he's a werewolf with Alex, and that's actually true. That would be so interesting. And Alex was smirking like a lot when Daniel said it. I think
I'm on Alex's train too.
You're definitely on the right track, Joseph.
It's like double psychology. He's like,
You got it.
Of course, I wouldn't say that.
You nailed it.
Of course. That's actually that's
if Daniel is a villager, he's in such a good mood now that we don't want him in the village because he's just fooling around, screaming 9 and stuff. Like he's not focusing.
He's not screaming 9. What?
I saw you in the Secret Hitler game. You were not playing the game like seriously. So if we want to win the game, we should get rid of Daniel no matter what. And I think
wasn't I right after that? I was just trying to be entertaining. I was trying for the game.
We're not here to have fun, Daniel. We're here to win.
I told you guys, he picked Super Wolf. We got to get rid of him.
Come on, I'm saying this. Joseph, you're totally right. You're like 100%. It's me and Alex. The only problem there is that Alex is the lonely wolf. So I'm dying either way. So you should kill me if you want. That's not a problem with that.
Okay, so we should.
Also, I know I know
you're gonna vote down on yourself.
Sure, whatever.
Happening.
Okay, I'll nominate Dan.
I don't understand what.
A second.
They just want to
As I said, we need to get him out no matter what because he's
let's waste nominations.
I know all the roles.
I heard a nomination from Joseph to nominate Daniel, and I heard someone second. Daniel seconded himself, so that is totally appropriate. Joseph, if you want to explain why, or
Well, he's saying he's a wolf. I know he not second himself. I mean, Guam is not here, so we gotta kill him.
Yep. Daniel, do you want to give your defense?
Sure, totally agree with Joseph. He's on the right track. He's always right about killing the werewolves when he nominates. So I'm like, it's me. But the problem is I die no matter what. So Alex will throw me under the bus. He's the other wolf. He's the lone wolf. So I'm the ordinary werewolf, which shows he was the super wolf. I was the werewolf. So that's how it went. So which means that I chose 2 lycans, and those lycans are Jamie and Flick. So yeah, that's how it goes. So you should kill me to prove everything that I
if you're a villager, you're banned from my games, Daniel, because I feel bad for Josh.
Why?
Set up the game and you're just trolling.
Why?
You're just trolling.
I'm not trolling. I'm going by
your villager, you're trolling.
I'm going by your logic.
People showed up here to want to play a real game, and you're just
I'm playing the game. This might be good for the village, right? Whatever happens here might be.
Yeah, it is good for the village to get rid of you. I agree.
That's why I'm saying, yeah, let's go.
Okay, so we're going to vote on Daniel. So vote up to save Daniel's life, vote down to kill Daniel, and vote in 3, 2, 1, vote. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to vote that are voting down. That is enough to kill Daniel. So Daniel dies. Daniel was a villager. Everybody, go to sleep. Okay. Interesting. Why don't we start with the orphan? Orphan, wake up. You're going to write down a name, and you're going to hide with that person. Okay, thank you. Okay, yeah, go to sleep. Bodyguard, please wake up. Bodyguard, choose someone to protect. Okay. Okay. Thank you. You can go on to sleep. Minion, if you are in the game, please wake up. You're going to write down. Okay. Okay. So, yep. You can go on back to sleep. Werewolves, wake up. Sorry, can everyone hear me? Can someone just give me a thumbs up if you can? Okay. I thought maybe I cut out for a second. Werewolves, wake up and go ahead and write down a name. Remember, you might be on a quick time limit. Okay. Thank you very much. You can go back to sleep. Seer, please wake up. Who do you want to check tonight? Okay, you can go back to sleep. Everyone can wake up. Good morning. And it is a good morning. No one died.
So I voted up for Daniel there because he was very clearly a villager. He barely had any information. I think the werewolves are definitely hiding in the no votes there.
Do we know who voted down?
I voted down because after that defense, I'm sorry.
Y'all mean because he can't play tomorrow, so this is pretty much his only werewolf game for the weekend, and y'all just voted him out. Shame on you guys.
I mean, he asked for it. Like, he literally asked for it.
He's clearly a villager messing around.
Go ahead, Graham.
So when he died, you said he was a villager. That means he's not a minion. If a minion dies, they come up as villager or werewolf.
If the minion dies before they turn to a werewolf under that scenario, then I would announce the minion as a villager.
Okay, so that's the only scenario that made any sense in my mind. But Josh at the night seemed to do either a very good job of acting or indicated that there is a minion alive. So I don't know if what Daniel was if he wasn't the minion.
I don't think we can method the moderator.
I did think I perhaps cut out. So
that's possible. Yeah,
they can act really. I don't know, but I think we should not suspect Alex out of this because I think Daniel was in a very loosey-goosey mood. I'm not going to say anything more about that, but like, yeah, I don't think we should take.
I mean, we were both in a loosey-goosey mood. I just figured he was.
Yeah, but you don't go that far, so you're more like.
I just
more
know
like
whatever
dancing
went
around
on
in some weird suit in the background, like that's funny, but it doesn't really like affect the gameplay.
Can we
I just know whatever went on between Joseph and Daniel just derailed the whole day for that. So
I mean, I'm curious about the people who voted to keep him alive. If you have a good villager who's claiming that they're a werewolf, how is that helpful to the village?
It was really obvious.
Well, I mean, every single person in this game is basically a mechanic in a game, and you have to figure out the best way to use that mechanic. I could tell based on what he was saying that he was good, even though he was saying that he was bad. It was something that he was doing. He wanted to do it, whatever.
Well, I say it all the. Oh, sorry.
Who voted down again? I really want this list. Okay, thank you.
Well, I say it all the time that every defense you have to defend like it's your last defense, and you have to give us something. And maybe he's just in a fun mood. I don't know what that was, but to me, I can't vote up for that.
It's just chaos.
And that's fair. I'm not saying that you're evil for voting down there. It's obviously a vote down situation, but I'm just
I
saying.
would have voted down even if I wasn't involved in calling him out. Like, even if I was just sitting back, not saying anything, I would still vote it down because it doesn't benefit the village to have.
Flick liked his defense.
Confusion is for what werewolves want to do, not villagers.
I liked his defense better than Andreas's, honestly.
It's
I don't
Daniel,
agree.
so, you know.
I mean, we had games where like Chris pretended to be the seer just for a laugh. I mean, sure, that was a laugh right then, but I mean, at the same time, you know, you play the game because you also want to win the game. So
okay, so not to be the timekeeper, but I think we lose a minute every day. So we're
yeah.
9
2
minutes
minutes.
today.
We lose 2 minutes.
That's if they pick both werewolf, right?
Yeah, that's if they pick.
So we have
werewolf.
8 minutes today.
Yeah.
And at least 2 nominations.
Do you think that, Blake, that they both?
Well,
pick
if you thought it was super wolves, then it's so obvious that wouldn't be a factor, right?
that they both pick werewolf, that's how the timer goes down.
Right.
And
Oh, I just thought it was a game mechanic either way.
I thought it was a game mechanic too.
It's only if they both pick werewolf.
Yeah.
Okay.
Either way, we have to play like they did.
Yeah.
Either way, it's best to not waste time. So.
Yeah.
Balazs, a penny for your thoughts.
Vote up for Daniel.
Well, it's Daniel, so I didn't think Daniel actually was a werewolf. I thought Daniel was just having a bit of banter and a bit of crack, and it was a time killer, and that was concerning. But like Daniel does this in games, and that doesn't necessarily mean that he's a werewolf. And I get what Joseph is saying, but I just didn't really feel like he was a werewolf. Plus, we could have had another nomination in there.
Let's do that. Does someone want to nominate?
We don't know that, so.
No, we don't, but we could have.
Yeah.
So, like, there
Well,
is
I think in the interest of time, we can move on from the Daniel conversation and kind of move on to something else. Personally, I really, really did not like Andreas's defense. I've heard him give that basically same defense when he's bad, and I just didn't buy it at all. I could be wrong, but that's just my feeling right now.
Can I ask what his defense was? Because I completely missed it.
I mean, it was just a fairly standard defense, but it was rambling and kind of like he kept going on and kept like trying to come up with reasons why we shouldn't kill him because we needed to find out how many nominations we have and stuff like that. I really, really did not like it.
Yeah, I agree on that part, but I mean, he also said some very like well thought arguments about.
He did.
Yeah.
I just tried to get my thoughts out in case I die.
He kind of pointed me in the direction of the funny thing, like. Because I agree with him that like nobody, he agreed with me, so I don't need to go with that again. But you know what I mean.
Okay. Well, if it's just me, then definitely don't go.
I'll keep it in mind. I'll keep it in mind, but I'm not ready to vote down on him right now.
I don't like that because of yesterday. Joseph now has confidence that Alex is good because Alex still would have been.
No. I'm just saying that Daniel didn't have any information since he was a villager, so there's no way he could know anything about Alex, which means he just threw out the name just for fun. Which means nothing. So, yeah.
I mean, I kind of egged him on, so.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it was like, right now, I wouldn't be surprised if it was like Alex, let's say Alex and Balazs. I wouldn't be surprised.
It's definitely not me. I can tell you that much.
Jamie, are you a werewolf?
Can Blake kill someone at night for us? No? Is that...
I can confirm I'm not a werewolf.
Move forward.
I can't really confirm it. I'm not. Basically.
I just want
a werewolf. He could.
Yeah, I don't really know what's going on right now. To be fair, I'm just watching.
I know the feeling.
Comes up. Nobody's really standing out yet. Oh, Daniel's standing out, but that was just quite amusing. To be fair, that's why I voted up. I thought that was fairly entertaining.
So do we think we have 2 or do we think we have 3 werewolves?
Because of no kill.
I thought it was very clear there was only going to be 2 werewolves.
At this point in time, I think it's still only 2.
The reason I'm asking is because it sounded like we had a minion at night. I'm just wondering, will they automatically turn to a werewolf?
No.
No, they have to pick them.
So I'll pause time and I'll answer that for Flick. So if there's a minion in the game, then they'll hold up a name and try to find the werewolves. They'll also be identified. I'll tell when the werewolf dies. So they could, I will let them know if they know the identities of both werewolves. Once they know the identities of both werewolves, they can wake up with the werewolves because they've automatically turned. I will tell them that thumbs up in the middle of the night and all that. So, and on the first night they get 2 guesses because as a catch-up mechanic. So
Okay.
So what could have happened last night? It was bodyguard, baby dragon, and the orphan, right? If the orphan was hidden, yeah.
No, the orphan really doesn't affect that.
Yeah, if the orphan is hidden and they get attacked, they don't die.
Yeah.
So
is that how that works? Okay.
Die.
Okay, never mind.
So if the baby dragon dies, Josh, will they get a message?
Yeah. If the baby dragon loses a life,
loses life. I mean, yeah.
If they lose a life, then they can come out.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
okay. So
would it help us to know that?
I don't know. I'm just saying there's one out of 3 options. The other 2 are the bodyguard and the orphan. So the problem is, right, well, how does the orphan have to change people every night?
They can choose the same person if they want to.
Okay. Because like if the werewolves attack the orphan and nobody died, they know that the orphan is hiding with someone, then they will attack that person instead.
And if they died, because that was the baby dragon and not the orphan.
Well, they wouldn't know who they hid behind.
Yeah.
Only possible scenario, if they track the orphan, they try to attack him again, nothing happens, then they pretty much found the orphan.
But if they do die, that means that's the baby dragon, right?
Yeah.
What was that, Ned?
If they do die, then it was probably the baby dragon. If they attacked the same person the second time in a row and then they died instead of,
No, I'm saying if they attacked the orphan last night and they try to go attack the orphan again, nothing will happen again.
But we don't know which one they attacked.
I was just clarifying the orphan.
Yeah.
So in that case, the baby dragon, if they got attacked, they should probably not come up because that'll cause more confusion for the wolves.
Yeah.
Laws, are you ever gonna unmute?
I tried.
Yeah, I asked for a penny for his thoughts and never got it.
Pay too much.
I don't know. I voted up for Daniel because I figured that he is a villager, and even though if he was saying, let's say, the truth, then we would have a tough wolf, and he said that Alex would be the lone wolf, so he is a tough wolf, so he has 2 lives. Other way, if he is a villager, then he maybe tries to find out if he is a prince or not, because if you are the child, you can get just as
that's a good
plain
point.
villager.
Yeah.
So
if he was the child, he maybe thought that he had 2 lives and he didn't.
That would have been a good strategy if he'd actually said that, but he didn't.
Yeah.
If he was diseased, could that be why the werewolves didn't get a kill last night?
No, werewolves have to kill the disease, not the village.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So what do we think about Barbie? Is Barbie good?
I don't know about Barbie. I've got a question mark next to her.
I want to hear from Flick. She usually has good reads. Or good metagame.
Werewolf. I think Balaz is a werewolf. There's a couple of people. Yeah, Balaz hasn't spoken very much, but Balaz does this sometimes more.
Yep.
Like a werewolf, and occasionally pipes up. And yeah. I mean, there's a couple of other people who are on my radar, but Balaz is definitely for me a werewolf.
it's fine.
I mean, if Flick has a read, I'm inclined to go with that, but I also recognize Flick as a liability in terms of speaking time and our village running out of time during the days.
But she hasn't done that this game.
Speaking of running out of time, guess what just happened? So, sorry, day 2 ends with no deaths, and you all have to go to sleep. Well, perhaps you all should think more about time management. Sorry about that. Okay, let's start with the orphan. Orphan, wake up and give me the name of someone. It can be the same person you chose last night. And thank you very much, orphan. You can go back to sleep. Bodyguard. Bodyguard, please wake up. Please give me a name. It must be different than the person you chose the previous night. Okay, thank you, thank you, thank you. You can go back to sleep. Minion, please wake up. Okay, you can go back to sleep. Werewolves, please wake up. You're gonna give me a name. Okay, thank you, werewolves. You can go back to sleep. Seer, please wake up. Okay, Seer, you can go back to sleep.
ZZZ.
Okay, and everyone else can wake up. Everyone can wake up. And I'm sorry, Ned. Ned, you died during the night. Ned was a villager.
Okay, so I have information. So I hate really coming out with like roles, but Daniel was a villager, Joseph is a villager, Balaz is a werewolf, and Blake is a werewolf. And Blake, I checked you because I knew Balaz was a werewolf, and you went and got Balaz to speak more, and then also you got into my radar because you seemed very certain as to what roles people had taken in regards to the time. And that could have been a fluke, but I was going to check you. And when I checked you, you're a werewolf. So that's 2 werewolves. You're welcome.
No, I'm a Lycan. I mean, you can kill me, but
Flick, isn't
I'm happy to kill you, but you came up as a werewolf, and I'm pretty confident you're a werewolf. I didn't like what you were doing with the whole trying to get Balaz talking, and maybe it's a small thing, but Balaz is a werewolf.
Okay.
And Balaz, I checked Balaz when I was checking Daniel the first night because I got 2 checks. Joseph went after Daniel, so then I checked Joseph because I knew Daniel was a villager and I was sus of that. And then when it came to you and the whole time thing and being really certain as to like the werewolf thing and there being less time, I was a bit sus on that because we weren't 100% sure as to what was going. So you went onto my radar, you got Balaz to speak. Didn't quite like that because I knew he was a werewolf.
Flick, great, we get it. Balaj, can you say something before we nominate and kill you?
I have to say something. Blake could be the bodyguard.
Yeah, if there's 2 super wolves, then the Lycans are the people that have roles. So
Yeah.
I want to know what roles.
And that could be the orphan and the bodyguard that you just called out. I'm just saying that it could be.
No, I get what you're saying, but
well, listen, I'm all for coming out with information, but you know, again, we literally ran out of time yesterday, so I don't think trying to keep the village on track is a crazy thing. But you can kill me. You're killing a villager, but
I'd prefer to go with Balaj first, but I want to hear him speak before someone nominates him.
You want to nominate me or just?
I mean, I want to hear you can have a defense without us wasting potentially our only nomination of the day. So go for it.
Sure.
We gotta kill Balaj.
I have a role.
I mean, you're gonna die as a werewolf unless you come out with a role that is convincing. So
it's just because I said that it could be a role. That's why he's now saying
for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
I don't believe anything on Balaz right now.
Then just kill me.
Yeah. I'll nominate Balaj.
I'll second.
Okay, so Joseph nominates Balaj. Alex seconds. Balaj, do you want to give a defense?
Sure. I'm the bodyguard, and I'm doing a shitty job again.
For Jugan's sake, I'll say family friendly. But
sorry, I'm doing a really bad job again.
Do you want to say anything else? We could take questions because I thought I saw Strawberry raise her hand. Okay. Well, if people are ready to vote, we're voting for Balaj. Vote up to keep Balaj alive. Vote down to kill Balaj in 3, 2, 1, vote. Well, that is pretty overwhelming. Just 2 votes up. Balaj, you have died. Balaj was a werewolf. Everybody can go to sleep. Ooh, now that was Interesting. Give me just a second, everyone, just to, because that was a short day. Okay. Orphan, can you wake up? Can you choose someone to hide behind? Okay. Thank you. Bodyguard, please wake up. Please give me a name. Okay, thank you. Minion, wake up. Okay, thank you. You can go back to sleep. Werewolves. I need a name from you. Remember, there could be a quick timer. Okay, thank you very much. You all can go back to sleep. And finally, Seer, wake up. Who do you want to check, Seer? Who do you want to check? Okay. You go back to sleep. And everyone wake up. Unfortunately, Strawberry is dead. Strawberry was a villager.
So this may be relevant to the village, but I checked Andreas, and it was a choice between Graham and Andreas, and I put Graham's name down first because just previous games, and then I went back to Andreas because your name had been mentioned a few times. And you came up as a werewolf. You could be a lichen. I don't know.
Okay. In that case,
go with Blake first, and then I think you may have turned.
But that means wait. Can we figure this out really quick? Because that means that we killed one of the two werewolves.
Yep.
We have a guaranteed lichen, which means can we figure this out by deduction? What situation are we in?
Importantly, the wolf didn't come out as a wolf man, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we most likely have this scenario where one picked super wolf and one picked normal wolf, I think.
So that would mean
because I named Balaz and Blake. The minion then only had one person to check and got turned.
Oh, so there could be two werewolves now. Yeah.
Could be.
I don't know. He could be a lichen. To be honest, I was as shocked as anyone because I was just like.
I thought Andreas was a wolf from the first night.
I got two, and I was like clearing my lips because I have to pick.
Is there a situation where there's no lichens at all in the game? I'm trying to figure that out. I'm confused.
No.
It's a minimum.
It would always be at least
he
two.
said.
At least two, and
At
those
least
two
two.
might be the bodyguard and the orphan.
Well, they're just picked if it wasn't Super Wolf.
Yeah, so either they're two random or four random, well, between 2 and 4, which I don't think, or it's the roles that are. So, Andreas, are you the bodyguard?
I have a role, yes, but I don't want to give it out.
You have.
Let's kill Blake and see if the game ends.
I feel it's day 4. It may be another day where we only have one nomination. So I feel like if you feel like you're going to be on the chopping block and could die today, which is basically Andreas and Blake, you kind of need to save yourself before you're nominated.
What are the role options that Andreas could potentially have if
Baby dragon
is coming out as seer?
Baby dragon. Well, no.
The baby dragon is not waking up.
No, it's not waking up.
He's not waking up. If we have Super Wolf, it wouldn't be Baby Dragon.
So it's bodyguard or what's the
We
other one?
potentially have like a minute 30 left.
I really think we have Super Wolf.
I don't have a role, but I am a villager, and so I don't think you're gonna be able to get past it if you don't just kill me. So I'm just a villager. You can kill me, but it is one less for the village.
If we kill Blake, it would tell us what situation we're in then.
The interesting thing is, if we have Super Wolf, then
Then we
Blake
can't have a villager as Lycan.
Yes, then the villager isn't Lycan. So
No, so Blake's probably lying.
he's either lying, or then we have
Lying,
the
or we
Super
don't have
Wolf
Super
werewolf
Wolf.
combination.
So if we kill Blake and he's a villager, then we
get information.
Not lying.
I nominate Blake.
Yeah, he would stay if he had a role. So yeah.
Nomination for Blake and Jugan seconds. So I don't think you need to give a reason. Blake, why don't you unmute and give your defense?
Yeah, I'm a villager, but I have been pinged as a Lycan seer, whatever, by the seer, so I don't think you can avoid killing me. Suspicions, I would say I always like to hear from quiet players. Jamie has said literally nothing. Victoria, I would love to hear from as well, but kill me and get some information. So.
Okay, so we are voting on Blake. Vote up to save Blake's life. Vote down to kill Blake. And you'll vote in 3, 2, 1, vote. Oh, that is pretty overwhelming. Blake is dead. Blake was a werewolf. Everybody go to sleep. Orphan, please wake up. Okay. Go back to sleep. Bodyguard, please wake up. Thank you. Minion, please wake up. Good. Please go back to sleep. Werewolves, please wake up. Okay, you can go back to sleep. Seer, please wake up. Okay, you can go back to sleep. Okay, everyone can wake up. Unfortunately, Victoria, you are dead. Victoria was a villager.
Okay, so we have a problem, right? Because Jamie also came up as a werewolf.
Jamie, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, so I think I know how it is then. So we have 2 super wolves. We killed one of them and we killed a minion, I think. So we still have 1 super wolf alive. Andreas, I don't think at this stage it doesn't matter. So Andreas is the orphan. Andreas, you can hide behind me. It's going to be fine. Jamie is the bodyguard. And then we have a wolf. So Alex, Barbie, or Jugan, or Graham is a wolf.
I mean, that sounds really cool. Where's that coming from?
Yeah.
It's from the document. Like, logically, since Blake was a werewolf.
I want to hear these other people claim this, though.
Yeah, how do you get that they are roles? And specifically,
Because
which
if we have
roles
2
they
super
are?
werewolves, then there's 2 Lycans.
I get it. I just
Yeah, I get that part, but
why can't one of them be a werewolf?
Oh, yeah, of course they can. Of course they can. I'm just saying that that's one of the possibilities right now, because we can't have a lone wolf and all that stuff.
And what are you, Joseph?
We killed 2 werewolves.
Joseph is a villager. I checked.
Do we have 2 minutes this round, potentially?
Well, Joseph could still be the minion. Just saying that. I'm not
Yeah.
saying that's what it is,
mean,
but like,
at this point,
100% cleared.
The only reason we still play the game is that the minion turns into a werewolf.
No. That Blake could have been the minion. So the minion might already be dead, and the real werewolf is still around. Maybe it's you.
Either way, the minion has turned because the minion would turn up as a villager.
I mean, turned because I named 2 werewolves.
But the only way to have a minion is if we have 2 super wolves, and we killed 2 wolves, which means we must have a minion, which means that minion also must have turned, which it did because the seer
And
came
neither
out.
one of them was tough, so that
Exactly.
We have like 5 seconds.
Yeah. It just
Oh,
means
yeah.
whoever
Neither
you
one was
checked
tough,
before we
and they
killed the
didn't have a clever
werewolf
disguise.
might now be a werewolf. That's what I'm saying.
That's true. Yeah.
Because you outed the werewolf, so it would be easy for the minion just to try to pick them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm thinking's happened.
Yeah.
Is it also fair to say that the seer and bodyguard have not died yet because the werewolves haven't had 2 kills? Am I reading that?
And why didn't the seer die last night? Is the question.
Presumably protected.
Interesting.
But Victoria.
We lost
died,
Victoria.
Maybe they thought that. Oh wait, maybe they did get 2 kills. One was protected. We don't know that. Or one could have been the baby.
How would they get 2 kills?
If they
I was just reading the night of the full moon, which I believe is the case when there's 2 super wolves, where when a night roll dies, they get 2 kills.
Yeah. So that could already have happened, and the baby dragon lost a life, or the orphan got hit, or the body got protected. I love this game setup, by the way, Josh. It's awesome.
Yeah, a lot might happen.
So I think we have to kill the people that the seer called out. Like, unless, I mean, do you agree, guys? Should we kill Andreas?
I think kill Andreas. He was always on my list.
I think you are going back and forth, Joseph, and that has me really like. I know you were checked by Flick, but like you are making.
I
no
do
sense
that
to me.
because when I did my whole rant about like, oh, Andreas is the orphan.
Flick,
Jamie
who
is
is
the bodyguard, I watch
haven't you
them and
checked?
See how they react.
So I checked.
So who
Daniel
have you
and
not
Balaz.
checked? Who have you?
I'm going through who I've checked so I can
Okay.
figure this out. I checked Daniel and Balaz. I checked Joseph. I then checked Blake. Then it was Andreas, and then Jamie. So Joseph came up as a villager. Daniel was a villager. But everyone else is shown as a werewolf.
We could potentially be running out of time, so I'm going to nominate Andreas.
I second that.
We have a nomination for Andreas and a second. I'll allow Alex to, perhaps say why, although I don't know if you want to.
Checked by the Seers, werewolf gave what I consider to be a bad defense the first day. That could just be what he had for us, but that's just my reason.
Yep. Andreas, why don't you give your defense and then
Can I say as a seconder why a second?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, because Andreas tried to say, well, we only have the minion left and that minion turned. Well, if he's the original werewolf, he knows that Blake was the minion. Blake died as a werewolf. That's the thing that a werewolf would say. So Andreas is probably a werewolf.
Andreas, why don't you go ahead and give your defense?
I just meant with that the minion has turned, not at which stage or whether it's a minion left now or whatnot. Well, I'm the bodyguard. You can kill me if you want, but then you lose my ability through the night. That's why I came up as a Lycan.
Are there any questions, or do we just want to go on to vote? Okay, so we're voting for Andreas. Vote up to save Andreas. Vote down to kill Andreas. Vote in 3, 2, 1. Vote. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 down. Andreas is dead. Andreas was a werewolf, and the game is over. The villagers win.
Oh wow! I actually thought maybe he was a Lycan for a second, but I was voting because. Okay.
I'm on this guy's team. By the way.
Great job, Flick.
So let me go ahead and mute, and I'll go through everything. Okay, so obviously, so Joseph just kind of said it. Joseph was the baby dragon. That was completely random, but my heart filled with warmth and joy when I could tell him he was the baby dragon, because it's his role, it's his shtick. I loved it so much. So Jamie was the orphan. He hid behind Graham for most of the game. The 2 original werewolves were Balaj and Blake. They, of course, picked Super Wolf, and it's interesting to see how that all went. The bodyguard was Victoria, so I thought maybe at the very end there, Andreas could have claimed bodyguard and no one would, say anything about it. He, of course, Andreas was the villager child who turned into a minion. He would have had 2 kills. I already had that written down the next night because Victoria had died the previous night. I mean, you all kind of know everything. Night 1. Yeah, the werewolves chose Jamie night 1, and of course Jamie was the orphan, so that's why there's no death that night. Everything else was just kind of standard, like werewolves chose someone, they died. So yeah, I'll let you all talk about it.
Really good game, everyone.
Yep.
Well,
Daniel, you helped us so much with that day 1 kill. Well done.
I had no idea what Daniel was talking about, so.
Can I explain my thoughts? It was not weird, actually. I was just a villager. And my thinking was that if you kill some random person day 1, for example, let's say the orphan dies day 1, that's not good for the village. On the other hand, if we kill the werewolf, if we kill not the werewolf, the bodyguard or the seer, that's even worse. So I was like, since it's a day 1 kill and someone dies random and I'm just a villager, and everybody is going to be, if I don't die day 1, then day 2 and day 3 and then 4 5, we're going to be wasting time on me, because the werewolves won't kill me, because I'm not going to be I'm going to be suspicious all the time, all the game. So I was like, hey, we should save time first of all, and then second of all, I'm a villager, so no matter what happens, I just die. And I thought that I'm gonna die after that defense by the majority. So that happened. So I think that I helped the village in my weird way. That was my way of thinking about everything.
It was certainly entertaining.
Yeah, well.
Oh, and this was the order of nominations that was randomized. And the 1 was the day that you all were discussing between Blake and Andreas. So I actually thought it was possible maybe Blake would get a nomination there real quick, and that would have ended the day. So I'm curious why you didn't try that, Blake.
Well, because I was multitasking during the rules, so I had no idea what anything I was doing meant. And so when he showed the thing, I was like, okay. So I was a super bad wolf because I just didn't know what was happening at all.
You were a super wolf as well, so you were super bad wolf. No.
Yep. So when Josh did the okay, and you choose the lichens, and we didn't have to Blake just. What?
I thought we were choosing how many nominations were happening that day, so that's why I was like, I don't know.
That would have been overpowered.
Yeah.
Who did you choose as lichens, actually?
Yeah.
So they did not choose the lichens because they chose Super Wolf. They both did. That means all the village wolves look like lichens.
Never mind.
So the seer was, when you say village roles, is that villagers or?
So seer, bodyguard, orphan, and of course the 2 werewolves who were the 5 that looked like the werewolves to the seer.
So I, as a villager, I would not have come up as a villager.
Correct.
With the checkers.
Standing at the crossroads between a line